Hey guys, welcome. I'm counting down all 82 Led Zeppelin studio songs from 82 to number 1, and I know they've had more than 82 songs released on different formats, different newer albums coming out. For my purposes, I decided to include just the studio stuff and also including Hey Hey What Can I Do, because that came out as a B-side during the regular studio days of Led Zeppelin, and I also just combined the two versions of I Can't Quit You Baby into one. So that's where I get the 82 from for some of you guys who are probably counting and coming up with different numbers. So obviously totally subjective list, but I'm going to go through every one and give you some comments as to what I find interesting or like or don't like about the song, and maybe a couple factoids as well, so maybe you learn something about it. I just thought it'd be interesting to do, just to go through them all and talk about every one and give my rankings. Obviously you can leave a comment below if you agree or disagree or have your own list, but this is mine, so here we go. 82. Oh, I should mention, so what I did beforehand is I made a spreadsheet and I went through every song and rated them on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the best, 1 being, kind of, I hate it, kind of unlistenable. Since I love Led Zeppelin, almost all these songs came out as 5s or better, because I really love the whole catalog. I like every album, but there's a few that I don't like listening to, so there's just a very few that got 4s and below, and they'll all be in this first list here. I'm going from 82 to 70. So, okay, without further ado, number 82. Black Mountainside. Instrumental, guitar, no lyrics, doesn't even seem like a real song. It's got a bit of an Eastern feel to it, which is kind of interesting. And I guess the best thing I can say about it is it comes before Kashmir a lot in their live performances, so I kind of have that anticipatory feeling when I hear it, but by itself, it's just irritating to listen to, and I would never put it on by itself, so I rated it a 1, don't like it. It's number 82 for me. Number 81 is Bonzo's Montreux. It's another one that's hard to even call a song, right? It was never released on a real album. They put it on Coda, which is just some odds and ends. They put out after John Bonham's death, because I think they're contractually obligated to put something out. It's a drum instrumental with some differing kind of electronic effects on it. I guess the positive thing I can say about it is at least it seems more organized and more of a beat than what you hear during the solo during Moby Dick, which is awful too. But for a song, I mean, it's hard to even call it a song. So I like it better than Black Mountainside, but I'm rating it 81 in the catalog. All right, so number 80, another Black song, title song, Black Country Woman. At least this one is a song with lyrics, but it still seems lacking to me. There's kind of that cool part in the beginning where there's an airplane flying overhead and they're outside playing, and engineer says, "I'm gonna get this airplane out of here," and plant says, "Nah, leave it." So it kind of starts with a cool vibe to it, which is kind of neat, kind of atmospheric, but the song never really draws me in. It just seems like something they made up on the spot, which they probably did. It just never draws me in. There's no bass guitar. It just seems out of place, so I wouldn't put it on by itself. Don't like it. I gave it a 2 out of 10. So that's number 80. Number 79, Boogie With Stu. Some people probably would disagree on this one. I think some people like this one. It's got an interesting piano part. It does start off with this kind of weird percussion sound. It sounds like some kind of tape loop that's played backwards or something. I find it hard to listen to. It kind of gives me a headache. The whole thing sounds kind of made up too. The production sounds kind of muddy. It just sounds unclear, and like the copy of a copy of a copy that your friend gave you, some cassette tape or something. The voices seem way in the background. Not catchy. The interesting thing is that Ian Stewart played piano in this song, so it's rare to get someone else outside of the 4 core Led Zeppelin people playing on the song. He was a kind of a stagehand, roadie, tour manager, but really good player for the Rolling Stones. And they happened to be using the Rolling Stones mobile truck for recording the song, and he was there, so they got him to play piano on it. It was during the Led Zeppelin 4 sessions, and it wasn't good enough to put on Led Zeppelin 4, and they put it on Physical Graffiti. It just seems like a leftover song to me, so I don't think too much of it. I gave it a 2 as well. It's number 79. 78 is Bron-Yr-Aur. It's another instrumental. It's pleasant enough. I don't mind listening to it. It was named after a Welsh cottage where Robert Plant used to go on vacation in his childhood, and it kind of has a sweet, nostalgic feel to it. So it's kind of pleasant to listen to. Again, it's not a full song. It's not something I'd seek out and drop the needle on or listen on my iPhone to on purpose. So it's pleasant, but it's near the bottom of the catalog for me. It's number 78. I rated it a 4 out of 10. Next up is Moby Dick. This is a tough one for me because I really love the opening groove and the opening guitar jam. Great riffs. If it would continue on, that's like a 9 to me. I love that song. I love the starting to it. So it's so groovy. But then there's the 3 minutes of just, to me, I'm not a drummer, but just kind of just random pounding on the drums. Obviously, it's not random, but it just, it works in a concert if you have to go to the bathroom or something and go get a beer. But purposely listening to it on a record, I don't think so. It's just, if you don't have time to skip it, or you don't have the energy to skip it, you let it go. But it's like about 2 minutes and 40 seconds too long of a drum solo for me. So you have a 9 in the beginning and a 1 in the middle, and I gave it a 4 rating. So it's number 77 in the catalog. 76 is Candy Store Rock off of Presence. Okay, now we're getting to some decent real songs here. It's okay. It's a throwback kind of a style, made to sound like a 50s Elvis song, I guess. I don't really connect with the lyric or the style. It's probably my least favorite song on a great Presence album, which I love. I wouldn't skip this one on purpose, but I also wouldn't seek it out. So it falls as number 76. 75 is Gallows Pole. That's off of Led Zeppelin 3. I tend not to rate the acoustic numbers as high. I like some of them, but I'm noticing a lot of them are falling down in the order. There's a few exceptions, but I think Zeppelin were just better when it's a full band playing, mostly electric. It's an interesting lyric about the hangman and waiting at the gallows. So it's kind of haunting in that way, but not one that I like too much. So number 75. 74 is Poor Tom. Poor Tom is, I guess comes from a traditional folk song that they kind of copied and made their own. It's about a man who kills his wife for cheating. So it's kind of a dark lyric, kind of presented in a kind of a funny way, it seems like. I like the drum beat on this one. It's driving. It seems like maybe better suited to a more rocking song. So it seems kind of out of place to me, but I like the drum groove. It kind of moves along. It's kind of pulls you along. It was kind of buried on Coda again, which is leftover songs. So I don't really have an emotional connection to it. Not part of doesn't seem like part of a real album. So yeah, it's okay, but I gave it a 4 out of 10. It's rated number 74 overall. Number 73 is Thank You. I think some people will probably be surprised that it's this low on my list, but it's not a song I connect with too much. I think the lyrics are heartfelt and maybe good, but they seem just a little cliche to me, a little sappy, a little syrupy, and I like a good love song as much as the next guy, but this one I don't know. I just don't connect with right now. Maybe in a couple of years I'll feel different, but it just kind of bores me a little bit. Just seems kind of overplayed, overdone, and cliche. So it falls to number 73, but it's a song. It's a decent song. Okay, so now those are all 4s and below. Everything from here on up is 5s or above for me. So we're getting to some real songs that I actually like and would listen to. And number 72 is Darlene. You know, you could probably just take these upper 72 and mix up a lot of them, and on a different day I might make the order totally different, and number 72 might be number 50, or number 50 might be number 12. You know, it's with a few exceptions. With some of the at the top that are just true classics and have to be there, but a lot of these in the middle, you know, it's hard to. Is Darlene better than Thank You? These are hard decisions to make, but to me it's a little better. It's not the greatest song by any means, but it's kind of punchy and powerful. I like the intro. It's a fun song, so I don't mind listening to it. I kind of like listening to it. So that's number 72. 71 is Going to California. It's a beautiful song, beautiful vibe to a dreamy song about dreaming of California. I do feel like I've heard it a lot though, and it's kind of, maybe it seems kind of overrated at this point. So again, this is one on a different day. Could be 30 points higher than where it is. I like it. I don't. It's not one of their best ones to me. It's okay. I like listening to it, but it's just kind of there. So that's number 71. Okay, and then number 70 is Houses of the Holy, the song. This is one that's, you know, kind of a fun rocker. You know, but for some reason it didn't get put on the album Houses of the Holy of the same name. So I don't know if it was timing issues or I also heard it kind of sounds like the song remains the same, which it kind of does, kind of the same vibe to it, so they didn't want to include it, but you know, it wasn't good enough to put on the real album. It kind of ended up on Physical Graffiti, which tells me something about it, and you know, it's okay. It's got a bouncy, happy vibe to it. It also doesn't sound, some of these songs don't sound as well produced as others, and this is another one that the mixing just sounds odd to me, a little muddy again. So I like it, but because of that, I'm keeping it at number 70. So there you have it, the first, or the bottom 12 Led Zeppelin songs from 82 to number 1. And I'll catch you next time for numbers 69 to 60.